Another gorgeous day in lockdown, and back to it again. I'm going to try today to get this completed and done and fired up. The final thing on my last one was to get this ignition light on, which I've done with the help of my youngest. It was a three-handed job because I had to hold it in there, compress the spring and put the clip on. Anyway, that's done. Just needs that wiring up now. I need to check that I've got ignition spark. I'll need to get the fuel tank put on, the fuel line connected up, the battery box back into position, connected up, exhaust done, and I've got one split pin to go into the carburetor linkage that stops it from coming out the carburetor to be done. And I think that'll be all. And then it's going to be a question of firing up. So I'm hoping that really, I don't know, I keep saying I've got about 4 or 5 hours work. I mean, to be honest with you, it might only be an hour. I'll have a little go and see how we get on, and I'm hoping that fingers crossed that I'll with what I've done on this one, if I've got everything tested well enough and everything as it should do, she should fire up immediately because I've got everything sorted out and everything corrected, he says. Hoping for the best. Anyway, we'll keep some progress going. Come back to you. So I had to wait another week, but I got a new one. It's now been fitted. I then actually managed to strip the thread off the last one, but I've now fitted it, terminated it. I just nipped that. You can just about see that. I've over tightened the last one, so I just nipped it up so that split washer's just taut, so that I didn't break it. Because the last one, I didn't realise inside that shaft there, in between that nut, it's drilled out with a spring in it. So that's now been fitted. So now I can carry on with the last bits and hopefully put it back together, which I don't think is more than about an hour's work. So hopefully today I'll be able to fire her up. So I'm going to just start putting things back together. So that's the air filter refitted now, and the air intake pipe down to the carburetor. I don't have a Jubilee clip for that for the moment, but I think it's not exactly going to be a dusty environment today, so I'll just use it like that to get it started and fit one retrospectively to that. Next is the fuel tank, and then the battery, exhaust, and that's us completed. Fuel tank fitted. Battery in position, just clean the terminals up, make sure I've got a good connection on that. Fuel line connected, fuel in there. Just checking for leaks, no apparent leaks. That bowl wasn't that tight, but that fit seems to be tight enough to not allow anything to leak out, so that's good. Check for some fuel flow, connect the battery, and then we'll give her a whirl. Right, so after quite a lot of time, I think we're at this final point. Now I'm to connect the exhaust pipe. It's going on really well. I thought I was. Oh, now I've got a fuel leak on. That's great. Oh, now look. Fuel leak out of the car. That just could be the flow. Oh no, let's have a look at that. Okay. Where that's coming from. And I realised that I hadn't put the exhaust on, so I had that left to do. I was right at the point of starting her up, but not exactly the biggest job in the world, just a D-clamp to go on, put that on, but still needs to be done. And now I need to have a little look at the fuel leak as it's pouring over the floor. Right, well, we're sort of pretty well there. A few minor jobs left to finish off, but basically everything's together. I thought what I'll do is I'm going to give it a go and see if she fires up. I'm quite confident, but one always says these things, and hasn't been started in 2 years, and this is the first crank of the starter mode, so let's see how we get on. Here we go. I do have a battery issue of some sort because I got the starter mode is not turning over. Go and have a look at that as a problem. Come back. Choke. Let's see how we get on with it. pleased with that, because that's the first startup that I've done with this in 2 years. That's the first turn of the key with the starter motor turned, and she fired straight up. Let's give it one more go. Fantastic, I'm so pleased. Okay, I think I'm out of fuel, but anyway, I've proved the point. Get some more fuel in it and give it a go later. Fantastic. Superb, as they say. Okay, a bit more fuel in, and let's give it another go, see how we're getting on. Right, no ignition, no throttle needed, and right, well, fantastic. We're up and running. Even, well, great news. Bit of burn off going on there. We've even got charge indicator from the dynamo, which I hadn't seen before because the ammeter's not been working. Now I've rewired, that's all working and showing about 13, 14, oh, it's amps, sorry, it's showing a 10 amp charge, not volts, it's 10 amp. So listen, great news. I think I'll tidy it all up, get it back together. I'm going to sort out this battery terminal problem I've got. This batteries and the terminals aren't really the right size, so they're not fitting properly, so they need sorting out. I'll probably put a new battery on it, and then give her a little test run. But yeah, fantastic. Here we go, up and running, good stuff. A long time coming.